You ever stumble onto something you wish you hadn't? Something that sticks with you, haunts you long after you've walked away. That's exactly what happened to me. What started as a routine cleaning job quickly turned into the most terrifying experience of my life. I found an old diary hidden in a house that should have stayed forgotten. Written by a priest in 1910, it told a story of demons, exorcisms gone wrong, and an entire village consumed by something dark. As I read through the pages, I began to realize I wasn't alone anymore. And what I felt that day, what I saw, I'll never forget.
I never imagined my life would take a dark turn. But the day I walked into the old Fisher house, everything changed. My name is Lyndon, and I've worked for a cleaning company for a few years now. I've seen strange things, but nothing compared to what I found in that house. A discovery that still haunts me to this day. It was an ordinary job, or at least I thought it would be. Mrs. Fisher had passed away a few weeks ago, and her family hired us to clean up the house so they could sell it. The place was isolated, sitting alone in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by thick, dark woods that seemed to swallow up the sunlight. From the moment I stepped inside, I knew something was wrong. The air was thick, heavy with the smell of rot and decay. The wooden floors creaked under my feet, and the wind outside rattled the windows. I tried to ignore the uneasy feeling in my stomach and started cleaning. It was upstairs, in one of the bedrooms where I found it, a small leather-bound diary hidden under a loose floorboard. The pages were yellowed with age, the leather cracked. I didn't think much of it at first, just another old family keepsake. But then I opened it, and something shifted in the air. The first page was dated July 12, 1910, written by a priest named Father Augustine. His words were strange, filled with fear, as if he was recording something unspeakable. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. I write this to recount the horrors that befell the village of St. Cuthbert, for my soul will never rest until the truth is known. My skin crawled as I kept reading. Father Augustine wrote about the children, how their laughter turned to screams, how their eyes went black as night. One by one, they fell to a curse, speaking in tongues, writhing on the ground like serpents. At first, they thought it was a sickness, but soon they realized it was something far darker, the work of the devil himself. I could feel the room getting colder as I read on. The priest described how he was called to the village when the first child died. Her body twisted in unnatural ways, her mouth frozen in a silent scream. The villagers whispered of demons, of an unholy force that had taken hold of the land. But Father Augustine didn't believe them. He thought he could save them. He was a man of God. But he was wrong. The first exorcism failed. Deus in adiutorium meum intende, he wrote. But the words of the ritual did nothing. The child laughed. A laugh that wasn't her own. She spoke in the voice of 1,000 serpents, mocking God, mocking him. And then she died. My heart pounded in my chest. I wanted to stop reading, but I couldn't. Something pulled me in, like the words had a power of their own. The priest's writing grew more frantic as the days went on. He spoke of demons, how they wore the faces of the innocent, how they moved through the village like a plague, consuming everyone in their path. He tried to perform another exorcism, but it went terribly wrong. The demon knew his name, it whispered to him, taunted him. Father Augustine wrote about how he felt the demon's presence crawling under his skin, filling the air with a stench he couldn't escape. Suddenly I heard a creak behind me. I jumped, dropping the diary. My heart raced and I turned around, half expecting to see someone or something standing there. But the room was empty. I was alone. Or at least, I thought I was. I picked up the diary again, hands shaking, but I couldn't stop reading. I needed to know how it ended. The last entry was dated October 31st, 1910. "The village is lost," Father Augustine wrote. "The demon has claimed them all. I hear its voice in my sleep. It whispers to me, calls to me. I know what I must do. This is no longer a battle of faith. This is survival. I will confront it tonight. Fiat voluntas tua. If these are my last words, let it be known that I fought. Though I fear, I fight in vain." The final line was barely legible. "I hear it now. It is coming for me."
I am coming for you.
As soon as I finished reading, the wind outside picked up, howling against the windows. The house groaned, the floorboards creaking as if something was moving through the halls. My breath came in short, panicked gasps, and every instinct told me to run. But my legs wouldn't move. And then the whispers started. Soft at first, like the wind slipping through cracks in the walls. But they grew louder, more insistent. Words I didn't understand, in a language that made my skin crawl. The same words Father Augustine had written in his diary. Demones ad te veniunt. The shadows in the room shifted, twisting across the walls like something alive. My heart pounded in my chest, and I backed toward the door, clutching the diary like it was the only thing keeping me grounded. But then I saw it. In the corner of the room, a figure stood, tall, with pale skin stretched tight over its bones, eyes black and empty. It didn't move, but I could feel its gaze on me, cold and malevolent. It smiled. The smile stretched wide, splitting its face in half, revealing rows of sharp, blackened teeth. And then it spoke. Its voice was a low, guttural rasp that echoed inside my head. Fiat voluntas tua. I ran. I bolted down the stairs, through the halls, out the front door, and into my car. I didn't stop until I was far away from that house, the dark windows still staring at me in the rearview mirror. I quit my job the next day. I moved to a new town, tried to forget what I had seen, tried to forget the diary. But I can't shake the feeling that something followed me. The whispers still come at night, creeping into my dreams, filling my mind with dark words I don't understand. And right now, as I tell you this story, I can feel it again. That cold, malevolent presence, watching me from the shadows. I hear it now. It is coming for me.
I am coming for you.
If this story gave you chills, make sure to subscribe for more, because there's always something lurking in the shadows. Don't forget to like the video and let me know in the comments. What would you have done if you found that diary? And if you're brave enough, stick around for the next story.